Hello, I am Dr. Jimmy Douglas, and in this video you'll be learning about kidney stones. It's also called as renal stone, calculi, nephrolithiasis, urolithiasis, ureter colic. They are basically hard deposits which are made up of minerals and salts formed in the kidney, and they are made up of calcium oxalate, calcium phosphate, struvite, uric acid, cysteine. The presenting complaint is pain. While any of these can be present, the pain from the kidney stones is primarily due to dilation, stretching and spasm caused due to acute ureteral obstruction. That is, the stone is obstructing the flow of urine. The patient groans in agony and tries to get into a comfortable position so that he could relieve himself of the pain, but the pain doesn't go away. The pain tends to remain constant. If the stone is in kidney pelvis and upper end of ureter, vague pain is felt over the flank and the upper abdomen. If it is on the left side, your doctor would rule out acute pancreatitis, peptic ulcer disease and gastritis. If it is on your right side, he would rule out inflammation of the gallbladder or gallstones. If it is found in the middle of the ureter, pain is felt in the lower abdomen. If it is on the right side, it could mimic acute appendicitis. If the stone is found in the lower end of the ureter, pain is felt in the lower abdomen, which radiates to the groin and to the testicle in male, labia majora in females. Other thing that is associated with 50% of the patients is nausea and vomiting. That is primarily because the gastrointestinal tract and the kidneys, they share the same nerve supply, and we have seen the kidney causing dilation, stretching and spasm. The other cause of concern for the patient is when he or she notices the urine, which is red in color. When the stone moves, it may cause bleeding. If the quantity of blood is more, then the urine appears red, and if it is microscopic, then the urine may appear cloudy. And we find out if the blood is present in the urine by urine analysis in the lab under a microscope to find out the RBCs. And it's important to note that the absence of blood in urine does not rule out kidney stones. The other symptoms that the patient complain are of pain while passing urine, also called as burning micturition. The patients have the urge to urinate, and when they try to pass the urine, they pass in very small quantities or only a few drops. May or may not be associated with urinary tract infection. There are many reasons attributed to the formation of kidney stones. Is dehydration, not drinking enough water. Recommended intake is 3 liters per day. Or if the patient is on high protein diet, high sodium or high sugar diet, or the patient is overweight, had recent gastric bypass surgery, if they have polycystic kidney disease, if they had previously had a kidney stone, the risk increases, and if there is any family history of kidney stones. Taking into consideration your risk factors, your doctor will take a detailed medical history and may prescribe urine, blood or imaging tests to confirm the diagnosis. The blood tests are to check the calcium and uric acid levels in the blood. In complete urine analysis, we'll come to know the type of stone forming excess minerals which are being excreted, to find microscopic hematuria, that is the RBCs, or gross hematuria, increased pus cells which indicate urinary tract infection, urinary pH which gives us an idea of the type of stone. Normal urinary pH is 5.8 to 6.2. If the pH is less than 5.5, then it is suggestive of uric acid stones. If the pH is greater than 7.2, it is suggestive of struvite stone. If the pH is greater than 7.5, it is suggestive of calcium phosphate stone. And pH between 5.5 and 6.8 is found in commonly found calcium oxalate stones. Purpose of this imaging test is to find out the location and size of the stone so that we could chart out the treatment plans. The following tests are advised: X-ray, ultrasound and non-contrast CT scan. In normal X-ray of kidney, ureter and bladder, also called as KUB, and renal ultrasound will reveal a stone in 80% of the cases. Some stones are radiopaque, which means they can be caught on plain X-ray, like calcium oxalate and struvite. But some cannot be visualized as they are radiolucent, like uric acid stones, cysteine stones, stones formed due to some medications like indinavir. Most commonly, the stone is found in the distal 4 cm of the ureter in more than 60% of the patients. Since there is no radiation ultrasonography, your doctor will advise ultrasound of abdomen and pelvis depending on the severity of the symptoms and other factors. You are supposed to have a full bladder before the procedure, and ultrasound probe is placed on the stomach and the flanks with gel applied to the probe to visualize the kidney and the ureter and the bladder. The location and size of the stone can be found and the treatment planned accordingly. If there is any blockade in the urinary tract, then we may find hydronephrosis, where the kidney is swelled up due to the back pressure of urine, as it cannot be passed down the ureter due to blockade. But there is a possibility of missing the stone in ultrasound. In order to overcome the problem of the stones being radiopaque or radiolucent in X-rays and missing the probability of finding the stone in the ultrasound, the investigation of choice in kidney stones is non-contrast CT scan. It will identify the stones even if they are radiolucent or radiopaque. Care has to be taken to not use it often, as the stones have the tendency to reoccur and CT scan uses ionizing radiation. Treatment options, medical management. Most of the kidney stones, up to 5 mm to 6 mm, they pass spontaneously without the need for any intervention. But when the patient doesn't drink enough water, the chances of formation of stones in concentrated urine increases, and the stones might increase in size and thereby causing obstruction. If there is any urinary tract infection, it is treated with appropriate antibiotics. These larger stones might cause pain while passing down, or they might get impacted. The mode of intervention depends on where the stone is lodged. Extracorporeal shortwave lithotripsy or ESWL, non-invasive method to break down stones which are near the kidney or upper part of the ureter, carried out mostly as an outpatient procedure, and the primary goal is to fragment the stone. This procedure works on stones which are less than 10 mm in size. Uses external energy source focused on the stone after it is identified with ultrasound. The fragmented stones pass within 2 weeks. Those fragments not pass even after 6 weeks needs ureteroscopic extraction. When the patient approaches with acute pain and is diagnosed with kidney stones, any dehydration which is there must be corrected. It is important to check for urinary tract infection, which is either indicated by pus cells in the urine microscopy or increase in WBCs in complete blood count, along with fever and increased heart rate of more than 100 per minute. If there is an UTI with obstruction from a larger impacted stone, then the urologist is consulted and the obstruction bypassed with a ureteral stent, thereby ensuring prompt drainage. Antibiotics are used as an adjuvant to drainage. Surgery is indicated when the patient fails to pass the stone within 4 weeks, has fever, has intolerable pain, persistent nausea and vomiting, has to return to work, has upcoming travel schedule. Ureteroscopic stone extraction. Ureteroscopic stone extraction involves placement of a small endoscope through the urethra and into the bladder and then into the ureter. Under direct vision, basket extraction or stone laser fragmentation followed by extraction is performed. This procedure is used to extract stone in the mid and distal ureter. Percutaneous nephrolithotomy. For larger stones of 10 mm to 20 mm or more, it can be easier and faster if the surgeon removes the stone, directly gaining access to the kidney from your back. Diet to prevent kidney stones. You can have the following, which are known to prevent the formation of kidney stones while you are adequately hydrated: coconut water, pineapple, barley, banana, lemon, horse gram, carrots, bitter gourd. Avoid the following, which are known to increase the formation of stones: spinach, tomato seeds, black grapes, cashew nuts, cucumber, amla, chico, pumpkin, mushroom, red meat, fish, milk products, brinjal, cauliflower, gingerly seeds. Remember to visit our website erastoworldhealth.com for a detailed article on kidney stones. Thank you for your time. See you in the next video.